Welcome back to Phoenix, Beyond Data Management podcast powered by HS GovTech live at the AEC. We're actually in the convention hall here, and I actually kind of grabbed you and kidnapped you, or Adam did on my behalf. We have Shelly Wallingford, and you're the Director of Food Safety for Sprouts, the supermarket chain, right?
Yes, that's true.
And I really wanted to talk to you because it's the one thing I think like maybe we don't see enough of at NEHA, and that's industry. So tell us, now that you don't have a direct agency tie to come here, what brings you here now that you're with Sprouts in the Director of Food Safety role?
Well, I love coming to the NEHA conference because it's a place where I can network and collaborate with regulators and help them see how working in food safety in the private sector can really be a good partnership where we can work together to really influence change on a much larger level than one restaurant at a time. You can now potentially influence a whole chain, and I only have 540 locations, but like other folks that are here at this conference have thousands. So so it's a great chance to network with folks, share best practices, let people know the knowledge that their counterparts in industry have, so that we can work collaboratively together to really ensure that we're moving the needle and we're not just solving one issue in the moment, and that it's
just
more
to get rid of the one, but the root cause keeps coming
make
back.
it more sustainable. Yeah, exactly.
What is the barrier between industry and regulation historically, in your opinion? Because in my experience, we have Chirag Bhatt at our company. You have a long history of working in actually on the regulatory side, right? So what's that barrier where like there's I don't know if it's a skepticism, a fear of just we're actually working towards the same goal?
That is a really great question. I think it's a lot more complicated than we think, right? So I think the government side, like you're busy, you got things you got to get done. You're going from location to location, and you may not be taking the time to stop and think and like, oh, do they have a quality assurance person? Is there another way that I can do this work that might be more effective? So they're so used to just working with that local operator. And all of the systems that are in place are really around working with that individual operator instead of thinking about more systematically how I can affect change. And then we're siloed. There's also a long history of, regulatory has the ability to close you down, so operators are afraid to share what's going on.
Understandable, right?
Right.
But you feel like if I'm really vulnerable with this person, they could hold it against me.
Yeah, and I know that a lot of regulators are trying really hard to foster a relationship with that individual operator of mutual collaboration. And for mom and pops, that's great, or even really small chains that maybe don't have their own quality assurance or food safety folks. But when you get to these larger organizations, a lot of times they've already got policies and procedures, but they're so afraid to either get in trouble from me or get in trouble from the regulator that they don't even know what to say, and they're just trying to get you out of their store.
In the encounter as soon as possible.
Right. Which is, really sad. Because at the end of the day, nobody comes to work and says, how can I be the biggest screw up today? Or how can I,
it's true.
They all want to do the right thing. They want to have pride in their work. And there's just this inherent fear when somebody comes in to assess what you're doing, that, did I do something wrong? Am I making a mistake? Even when I go in to assess our locations, I work for the company. And if they see me taking notes, like the first thing they think is like, oh my God, what did I do wrong?
They start getting paranoid.
And I'm like, dude, I I just wrote a note to make sure I followed up and got you some resources, right? Like, you didn't do anything wrong.
So the fear is even of the internal person sometimes too.
Yeah. And so it's just really helping them. It's just like, I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to, tell you did bad. And
you want to help.
Right. And so I'm like, hey, I need you to be honest with me. Let me know what's going on, because I can't help you. I can't give you resources unless I know what the barriers are. But it's hard because everyone wants to do a good job, and they've got bosses, and right.
Did you ever imagine that you'd still have to deal with budgets and bosses in the private sector? Yeah, you think government is as tough as it gets fighting for money, but it's the same thing in private, especially for food safety, right?
Yeah. Oh, totally. There are so many competing priorities, and it's all about, like, I'm in the grocery store now, so it's like speed to market, right? But in the restaurants, it's about, turning tables, right? Yeah. And it's all about, hey, is this going to slow me down? Is this really that big of a deal? Like, nobody's died. Like, you're being dramatic, Shelly, right?
Yeah, but you didn't die, so
right? Yeah. And I'm just like, so how do you explain this stuff to folks that are really just operators, and they know that it's important, but at the end of the day, like, they got to make money. And so like, COVID really helped me kind of hone my message even better, because we did hire someone from the health department to be a consultant for us for epidemiology. Nice. I told my boss I have epidemiology training background, but he wanted this consultant. I said fine. And but for me, what it did, which was really good, was even though she was a consultant, she was working for us. She was no longer working for a health department. She approached everything from the health department lens.
Oh, that's great.
And it was, and it wasn't. So the reason being is, I'm like, okay, everything you're saying is spot on. And yes, if we did all that, we would 100% protect the public.
But not with a business model?
And we'd be out of business.
Yeah.
So it really honed me on, like, okay, how do I protect as many people as possible, protect the brand, and still stay in business?
Yeah.
Right? And that's the challenge or the rub being on the industry side. I can't do everything that is 100% going to protect 100% of people.
Right.
So how do you balance that?
Try to do the most good with the actions you can take.
Right, because if I tell them that, they're not going to do anything, right? Because that's the other thing. It's just like, okay, if I go too strict, then they're just going to be like, well, that's not attainable, Shelly. I ain't going to do any of that.
And so then they mute you.
Right, and then they don't listen to you in the future, and then you're Chicken Little, right?
Yeah.
But if I don't do enough, then I don't protect the brand, and then we could potentially make people sick, and I would feel horrible if that happened, right? That's my name, that's my reputation. I didn't get into this industry to
see that happen.
Exactly, right? So you're constantly playing that battle of, okay, is this too restrictive? Is this doable? Can we do this? Can we do it to scale? Is operations going to be able to execute this? What's the risk if we don't actually do this? Is it really that big of a risk? And weighing all those things when I give recommendations.
And you also have to think about in a chain too, can this be consistently rolled out, in your case, between 350, 400 stores across a country?
Yes, in all honesty, that's also a challenge for health departments too, because if you think about it, health departments, one of the things they struggle with is, are they consistently applying the food code and the science?
Yeah.
So
That's
we have
true.
a lot of the same struggles. It's just coming at the problem from a different direction. And we all have a lot of great knowledge and expertise. And if we could learn to partner with each other more and be more vulnerable, I think we could see
public health's better served, isn't it?
That's what I think.
Yeah, it sounds like for anybody that thinks it sounds Pollyannish, it happens to be true, and a lot of people agree with you, both in industry and also on the regulatory side.
If we can figure out how to crack the code so that we can get these groups together and talk to each other more and share best practices. I've been trying to do that ever since I moved to the private industry side, and it's dude, I would be one happy person if we can figure out how to make that happen on a more consistent basis.
We need to. You heard her. So first of all, it tells you a lot. If you're in the regulatory community watching this, who shows up? And of course, Shelly, you've been in the regulatory side and in NEH for years, but you showed up on behalf of Sprouts. That says a lot for Sprouts. Some people don't even have a food safety director at their stores, right? At their locations. So
unfortunately, yeah.
And we need to bring more of them here. So I would love at some point when we're in our studio, we can have you on virtually. We actually have done several episodes where this came up, including with Steve Mandernack from AFTA.
Oh, awesome, yeah.
And so there's a kind of a theme we've been exploring on bringing industry and regulation together. So hopefully when we have more time and not all this noise, we can have you back and actually dig into it.
I would absolutely love that. I have two passions. One is employee health, and one is collaboration between industry and regulatory. So
we'll do it.
I would love that.
We will have you back. Shelly Wallingford from Sprouts, shop there.
I didn't
They're
say
here
that.
at NEHA. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the conference, and we'll have you back.
Thank you. This was fun than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, good. Good. Glad it's not scary. Thanks so much for joining us for this segment, live from NEHA. I'm Cameron Garrison on behalf of the Beyond Data Management podcast, powered by HS GovTech. We will see you again soon with more content live from NEHA 2025 AEC in Phoenix. Thanks for watching.